Hello. Looks like it's time to make a video. Hello YouTube, how are you doing? I have a full-time job this week, so I'm a little too busy to be as productive as I normally would be, so there's going to be longer gaps between my videos. People often accuse social justice warriors and feminazis of not going after the most robust arguments, and I have to admit today I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to be going after something a little bit strange.
Stuff that you respond to is the high drama, insulting bullshit. That is what you respond to.
Recently we had the inauguration weekend for Donald Trump, took the oath of office. He is now the president of the world, which is a little bit weird. I mean America, same diff. His inauguration had quite low attendance numbers, which I'll get into soon. And the day after there was the Women's March, where heaps of fucking people showed up to create the largest march on Washington of all time. And I'll get into that again later. Now, not everybody reacted to this situation, let's say, in a sane, stable fashion. For some people, the lack of attendance of the inauguration and the mammoth size of the Women's March was a little bit triggering?
Feminist system! It is a fucking feminist system!
And that's what I'll be covering today. Somebody who I think seems to have been slightly touched by the proceedings. I'm a little bit worried about his mental stability, to be perfectly honest. So after all of this took place, and the new press secretary Sean Spicer was like, naughty media, saying that we didn't have historic numbers. Well, we did because we say so. Ha! Got you.
This was the largest audience to ever witness an inauguration, period, both in person and around the globe. Even the New York Times printed a photograph. There's been a lot of talk in the media about the responsibility to hold Donald Trump accountable. And I'm here to tell you that it goes two ways. We're going to hold the press accountable as well. The American people deserve better, and as long as he serves as the messenger for this incredible movement, he will take his message directly to the American people, where his focus will always be.
You ready for sunny side up? Come here.
And even some Trump-supporting friends saying it was a little bit terrifying the way that guy was talking to the press. After all of this occurring, a certain chap called Carl of Swindon decided to cover the events on his channel. And I didn't notice this because normally I don't really care too much about that guy's content, but a friend said to me, wow, have you seen this video? He's kind of falling apart. He's kind of coming unhinged. You've got to see this. And yes, it was a little bit disturbing. After watching this video, I actually had some concern for his mental state. And I think there's no shame in taking a break. If the political dialogue is getting a bit much, and I'm saying this genuinely, it's alright to take a rest and do something else and cool down, because it sounds like shit's really getting to him. It's Sargon's This Week in Stupid for the 22nd of January 2017. I'm not going to talk about the entire video because it's 41 minutes 50, but I will provide timestamps. So at the very start of this, he seems weirdly giddy, and he takes kind of a victory lap over the fact that people were wrong about Trump becoming president. Now I think it's fair to say these people were wrong. I was wrong. I thought Trump was going to lose, so that's a fair criticism. But I must say I don't understand the sort of giddy, delirious laughter at the fact that they were wrong, because now Trump is the president. You've got to focus on holding him accountable and looking at the things that he is doing, even if you supported him. And I would think that Sargon, as some kind of rational skeptic, would be holding Trump's feet to the fire instead of just cackling inanely about the fact that people were wrong that Trump's president. How long is that going to last? There's going to be 4 years of Trump being president. Can you survive on the Schadenfreude, I don't know if I said that right, for the rest of the 4 years and just leap to Trump's defense no matter what he's doing, no matter what is occurring, because all you want is the liberal tears? Is that worth it, now that this is the most powerful man in the world. And you could say, Tim, you wouldn't be holding Hillary's feet to the fire. I would. And I didn't like Hillary at all. I wanted Bernie to win. But if Bernie was president, he would have to be held to account too. If he was like, I'm just going to do completely non-progressive policies, I would be screaming hellfire about it. And I'd be saying, fuck, Bernie was also full of shit, just like Obama, who pretended to be so progressive, but then he just did all these compromises on taxes.
Even though we got health insurance for 30 million people and the potential for lower premiums for 100 million people, that somehow that was a sign of weakness and compromise. Now, if that's the standard by which we are measuring success or core principles, then let's face it, we will never get anything done. People will have the satisfaction of having a purist position and no victories for the American people. And we will be able to feel good about ourselves and sanctimonious about how pure our intentions are and how tough we are. And in the meantime, the American people are still seeing themselves not able to get health insurance because of pre-existing condition.
Watered down the healthcare bill by getting corporate Democrats and right-wingers to just make it less effective for the sake of wanking off the insurance companies, ramping up his drone wars, killing civilians, etc. Fucking Bernie is not what he seemed. He's not the progressive that I wanted. Whereas I don't think Sargon's operating like that. He's operating like, I must protect Trump. Trump was my guy. I hated Hillary. I hate the left. I'm left-wing, but I hate the left. And I'm just gonna fight them and defend Trump as much as I possibly can. And my question is, can you sustain that for 4 years? Essentially just being a shill for the establishment because the Schadenfreude is more important to you. Anyway, so the start is just him boasting. Let's take a look.
Hey, this is library.
Hello everyone, welcome to This Week in Stupid for the 22nd of January 2017. What a glorious day it is. So we are obviously going to talk about President Trump's inauguration and how it has caused some of the best SJW meltdowns I have ever seen. In fact, this street art really sums it up. Autistic screeching as Donald Trump offers to give the US government back to the people and away from the SJWs.
Now, to me, this is a meaningless platitude. He offers to give, like, he said the words that Bane said in Batman, I give it back to you, the people. And to Sargon, he's like, good enough for me. Forget about all the lobbyists, forget about all the bankers that are infesting his administration, forget about the religious right being on the ascendancy and Mike Pence being his vice president, forget about the fact that he keeps flip-flopping even on the things that you wanted, like, now the wall is back, the other week it was fencing, and before that it was a wall. When's it gonna be fencing again? Trump literally just says whatever he feels like, and people like Sargon lap it up. No need to actually look into his policies and see what he's doing. Just so long as some guy's yelling and I can call him autistic, mission accomplished, it's fine. That's the problem, is these political platitudes of just, I'm gonna build a wall, it's gonna have a fabulous door, we're gonna keep winning, Mexico's gonna pay for it, we're gonna have so many jobs. Like, none of that shit matters. What matters is the policies, what is he actually proposing, and what is he putting forth. Him saying words is good enough for Sargon. That's how low his standards are now. And I'm asking, are you just going to be a sycophant for Trump for 4 years? Or are you going to turn on your brain and start analyzing what he's doing? But it's funny, what he gets out of the inauguration weekend is taking Trump at his word and laughing at some random yelling guy. It's the kind of deep coverage we've come to expect from Mr. Swindon.
They hate it. I love it. I love that they hate it. It's about time these people fucking lost.
Now, you're taking a lot of joy in the fact that the left has lost, but he's going to gut Obamacare. At least he's aiming to do that, and that's going to result in deaths. It's literally going to result in people dying. And do you care about those people, or it's just fun and games? Because it's all, fight the SJWs, fight the feminazis, haha, who cares about people's actual lives? He's put into place an abortion gag rule for US companies so that abortion cannot be mentioned by their healthcare providers, and that tends to escalate into people taking desperate measures to get abortions. Deaths as well, and women dying, but at least someone was yelling autistically, And having the religious right in the halls of power, I mean, we can expect an erosion of civil rights as well. for gay people, for example. It's definitely negatively going to impact legalization of marijuana, and particularly medical marijuana that people actually need to survive and live. Tax cuts are just going to be massive corporate giveaways. The deregulations are going to make the world and make America less safe and harm people, and he's going to waste a fuck ton of money. Does any of that matter, or does just laughing at some random dude matter? I think it's clear which one matters to Sargon.
Donald Trump plagiarized Bane in his inaugural speech. God, I just don't care. I literally don't care if he lifted it word for word, which he didn't, and let's be fair, he didn't write this speech anyway.
I agree. I also don't care. I just think it's hilarious that you listen to it and take it at face value. That's the weird thing, but who cares if he... yeah, whatever.
For too long, our small group in our nation's capital has reaped the rewards of government while the people have borne the cost. That is... actually, it is quite similar to Bane's speech. We take Gotham from the corrupt, the rich, the oppressors of generations who have kept you down from the myths of opportunity, and we give it back to you, the people. That's the one line, that's the one part that actually is the same. But this is actually a really good populist message. And the thing is, this is something that really should happen.
This is a little bit amusing. Because Bane is the bad guy. In the movie, he says he's giving it back to the people. His plan is to nuke Gotham and kill everybody. So that just says to me you shouldn't be taking these words at face value. That's a good populist message.
The oppressors of generations who have kept you down with myths of opportunity, and we give it back to you. The people. Gotham is yours.
I don't want to invoke Godwin's law, so how about Mussolini, Fidel Castro, take your fucking pick. People can say shit. That doesn't mean that they're going to do good things. Constantly taking Trump at face value. I mean, that's one of the main reasons that he won, in my opinion. He just says stuff like if you just keep saying things, it's tremendous, it's fabulous, it's going to be great, it's going to be the best. People just, they like words. But you are supposed to think more than that. You're supposed to look behind the words. I think it's funny that you basically admit you would take Bane at face value. If he said something nice, you'd be like, well, this is great, I love Bane. And then he'll nuke you. So, like...
A democratic government shouldn't be for a few select elite people. And the SJWs who are benefiting from this know they're benefiting from it. They know they're benefiting in a special way from something that is excluding other people. They know it! And they are so fucking selfish that they don't want to give it up. They are determined not to. But 2016 was the year that they lost, and 2017 is the year that we see them after their defeat.
The Conservatives have always been about representing the elites, representing the corporate interests, cutting the regulation, cutting the taxes, giving the lobbyists anything that they fucking want. And this is not changing in the Trump administration. This is still going on. Trump won't even release his tax returns, so you can't even see what his conflict of interests are. And I've talked to other people about it, and they're like, he doesn't need to show his tax returns. He's a businessman. Which is interesting, because it's like Trump can literally just make it up as he goes along, and his supporters are like, good enough for me. I don't care about the fact that he's the first president since Carter to not show his tax returns. Who needs transparency? We support Trump. Again, you need to switch your fucking brain on. Anyways, it goes on like this for a while, but I'm not up to the salacious drama part yet. He goes on to shit on Hillary a little bit, stop making fun of Trump's kid. Actually, on that, I agree. There's no reason to make fun of Baron Trump. Give him a chance to grow up and become a piece of shit like his dad before you make fun of him. Talks about Richard Spencer, The Punch, etc. I'll skip forward to the next part that left an impression.
We should probably check in with the white supremacist capitalist patriarchy to see what their opinion of these communist rioters is.
Follow the law, and they can exercise their First Amendment rights peaceably. That means they're not destroying property. That means they're not tearing up trash cans. That means they're not setting fires. That means they're not picking up bricks and throwing them at my officers or at each other. Because we are also concerned that in this mayhem, one of them may be injured. So what we want to tell them is to exercise their rights. They can have their signs, they can talk about any message, they can talk to each other, but stop destroying the city.
Stop destroying the city. Stop attacking people, says the black female mayor of Washington, D.C. But fuck it. She's some sort of Uncle Tom, isn't she? She's an Aunt Jemima.
Randomly plays some racial politics about an African-American mayor saying that you shouldn't do violence and stuff. I have no idea what her being a black woman has to do anything, but that's like the lens that Sargon sees everything through. Race and gender, which is ironic, because that's the kind of thing that he says feminists and social justice people always do, but that's what he does, so okay. But this is the next part of the video that stood out, because it showed me the level of maturity that his brain is operating at. This is very strange. Check this out.
The headlines that the press came out with were just perfect. Women's March crowd expected to be 5 times larger than Trump's. I know they mean the numbers, but they are all feminists.
I have to admit, I had to watch this bit about 3 times to figure out why he was laughing. The Women's March crowd is expected to be 5 times larger than Trump's. And I was like, why is that funny? And then I watched it again. I still don't get it. And then watched it again. Oh! Sargon is mentally about 10 or 11 years old. He's saying that they're fat. Oh my god. I can't believe that people have thought that this guy is some kind of intellectual, because I think that a 10 or 11-year-old who was seeing it in this way would be an immature 10 or 11-year-old. I would say, you're acting like an 8-year-old. You know, show your age. Only someone ridiculously immature would find that funny. But I guess a lot of his audience, I suppose, are like young people who think that large is fat and that's funny or something. How else are you supposed to say that a crowd is large? It's not my style of humor, because I think I appreciate humor which is above the mental age of like 14, I guess. And even then, that's quite condescending to 14-year-olds, because I feel like a lot of them would be much too smart to find that joke funny.
And because they're all feminists, the Women's March on Washington will be the largest gathering of people with disabilities in history. Mental health is a real issue in the United States, you know. I'm sorry, I'll try and get myself under control.
To me, that sounds amazing in that, as a humanist, they are people with thoughts and feelings and personalities. They have people who love them, they've got families, and they're there because they matter, because healthcare matters to them. They need care. I think that's quite remarkable that they overcame some of their difficulties to go to that march. The largest march in the history of America. The largest march in the history of America. And the largest gathering of people with disabilities. That's amazing. That's fantastic. And that's just a massive insult to all of those people and all of their lives. And you should feel ashamed. You should feel fucking ashamed with yourself for having that kind of attitude. It's the same as when people call everything autistic, that they will just use these people and insult them for absolutely no fucking reason. And it kind of pisses me off, you know? Insult me all you fucking want. I don't care about that. But why are you insulting these people that like you see as lesser? That you see as just the butt of some joke for you? Yeah, I said butt. That's fucking hilarious. Tim said butt. Yeah, that's the age that you are operating at. This is just sad. You should feel embarrassed that this is the level of your channel. And the only reason people think you're some kind of intelligent skeptic is because of the fucking accent and the fact that you use an image of Sargon of Akkad. That's it. Idiot. People's lives are on the fucking line and you're laughing at them. It's dehumanizing. It's anti-human. I'm kind of speechless because it's so wrong. Unbelievable.
So the Women's March was broadly innocuous and totally hilarious. Here's an example of the crowd being 5 times larger than Trump's crowd. The struggle is real. A struggle against reality. A struggle against the stairs. A struggle against the lure of McDonald's. Jesus fucking Christ, at least get a Diet Coke.
And this bit's interesting because he like makes fun of the Women's March, ha ha ha, whatever. There's a fat person at the Women's March. Yeah, there's a fat person at the Women's March. Well, it is the largest march in the history of America. So I assume there's going to be some fat people there. Because there's lots of fat Americans. It's like, if there's a right-wing rally, are there going to be some fat right-wingers there? Yeah. Because it's a fucking rally. So it's ridiculous that you just choose random people from the largest crowd in the history of marches in America. The fucking largest, Sargon. Largest? The fat, durr. No, in terms of numbers, you fucking idiot. When you have the largest crowd in the history of America in terms of numbers at a protest, it's going to be quite easy to just pick out random people and make fun of them. That person's ugly, that person's fat, that person looks like a lesbian, that person's short, that person's autistic. It's not going to change the fact that this is a tremendous protest with many, many people doing the American thing and expressing themselves and saying, hey, we don't like Trump, we don't like his policies, and all of us represent different concerns. Some of those concerns are a bit vague and confusing, and other of those concerns are quite specific. That's what's going to happen when you have a tremendous crowd that Trump couldn't pull off because he had a tiny crowd, like his fucking shriveled orange dick, which also reflects the size of his tiny hands. So this is just him pick and choosing to ignore the fact that it was the largest march in the history of America. Don't you think that if the right-wingers had the largest march in the history of America, Sargon would be splurging his fucking pants and just enjoy, like, oh my god, look at this! It's a representation of the true will of the people. But no, it's people he disagrees with, so he's like, look, there's a fat person. Fantastic commentary, bro. And there's some other stuff, like you're saying we the people, but then it's got a picture of like a Muslim person. I'm quite sure that they're saying that with solidarity for that woman. They're not necessarily saying we condone the oppression of women. They're saying we have solidarity for the plight of that individual, and they will be wearing a hijab because that's their culture. But I do agree that we shouldn't glorify that in the sense that women should have their own choice. It should be as much a free choice as it possibly can be. But if it is a choice, they also have the right to wear a hijab with the American flag on it. So I think that you're just not being fair to their message. But I think if you have a very narrow view of Muslims, that you'll read it in the way that Sargon reads it. I read it more charitably, like they're saying this woman also has the right to be an American, but it should have the addendum that she also has the right to choose whether she wears the hijab. I'd be totally behind that. My other camera was running out of battery, so I'm switching to my phone, so the angle's gonna look a bit different. Pretty cool framing going on. Woo! Oh my god!
And that's when the protesters weren't just simply objectifying themselves, and I literally mean reducing themselves to objects. Pussies in formation. Not women information, not people information. No, you've reduced yourselves to just your fucking vaginas. That's the only important part about you from what you're telling us. All we think about when we see you is, right, okay, these people are obsessed with their own vaginas.
Because he said you can grab them by the pussy. That's why everyone kept talking about pussies all the time.
And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the pussy. You can do anything.
And I've actually seen some fights between people who are saying the pussy shouldn't be the representative of this because it's kind of exclusionary of people who don't have pussies, etc. Whatever. It seems that Sargon and some feminists agree that the pussy was a problematic symbol for this march. So you, Sargon, and some feminists and trans activists, etc., you're on the same page. Congratulations. So this is the second to last major part that I'll talk about. Is just him talking about the protests in London and making fun of the protesters there. And the thing that I found interesting about this is because he seems to not understand the purpose of protest. So we'll watch a little bit.
But these are the reasons that these people have turned up.
We're marching because we agree with equality.
Love your mum.
Well, don't we all love our mum? I'm sure even Trump loves his mum. Come on.
Your Mother Earth.
Our Mother Earth?
Yeah.
What's the relevance of that to Donald Trump?
Because Trump is anti-environmental.
So what's from your heart, why are you here?
to stick by each other, solidarity.
Yeah, exactly. Stick by each other, solidarity. Somebody said he doesn't care about the environment. Blah-de-blah. We're not expecting random people to all be extremely informed about the reasons why they're doing something, but the reason that they're protesting is because, as a general idea, they are against conservatism, they're against Trump, and they're against the things that he represents and the things that he stands for. I'm pretty sure that he wants drilling, and that he's not that interested in sustainable energy. Much of the time when people go to protests, they go there just to show their dissatisfaction with the other side of the political spectrum. A lot of times that conservatives go to rallies, they don't exactly have a specific idea about what they're protesting, so they can be interviewed and then they look kind of silly because they can't really give a specific reason why they're there. But I would say that's not important. The purpose of protest is to represent a different side than what is in power, or simply just another perspective or way of seeing the world. And it's unreasonable to expect every protester to know exactly what they're there for, or their exact issue, or their exact reason. We all know that voters are not very well informed, and they often don't know exactly why they're voting for someone. They're just like, yeah, I want to make America great again, so I'm going to vote for Trump. I want a wall. A wall sounds good. I don't care about the logistics. Just let's do a wall. Yeah, okay, fix it. Stop the Mexicans. I want to win again. Let's keep winning. Yeah, I want the jobs. And that is reflected on any side of politics. So there will be feminists just saying, I want to protect my body. Like, well, so what's the specifics of that? I don't know. I just get the general sense that Trump and the conservatives aren't going to respect my bodily autonomy. Can you give details? Not really, but just fuck Trump, whatever. Well, it was up to Trump to try to appeal to that person by at least coming up with some kind of rhetorical flourish that they could get behind, and he didn't, so they're protesting. But it's incredibly stupid to say just because some protesters can't articulate exactly what it is that they're against, that they would not be against Trump signing the abortion gag rule, or against him trying to gut the Affordable Care Act, because they would be. And that's the kind of stuff that he's doing. So it seems to me that the thesis you're putting forward is that all protest is invalid if you can talk to random protesters and they're kind of vague. And that every single protest has to be razor focused on what they're protesting. That's just not the way protest works.
Can I ask why you're here today, first of all?
Because fuck Trump! He's a dickhead. He's rapey. He's racist. He's a fucking dick. He's homophobic.
How is he homophobic?
Yeah,
well, have you not heard all the shit he's saying? Like, also, just like...
No, give us an example. What?
Okay, well...
I've never heard that one before.
I have no... I'm not going to give you a specific quote, because...
But you can't give us a quote.
There's, like,
but
okay,
you just
so
said
the new White House website, there's no LGBT...
It's a bit unfair if you say it and got no example.
There's no LGBT column whatsoever on the new White House website.
There's no what?
LGBT page.
That doesn't
They just took it off. They literally just took it off. Racism, obviously, in all of his speeches, he's like, Mexicans are rapists, all of this.
Yeah, but that's not homophobic.
Yeah, but also, like, in a whole...
You just hate him. Is that he's a Republican, really? Is that what it's about? You just don't like Republicans?
No, not at all.
So it seems to me you're just nitpicking because you hate the fact that these people don't agree with you. And okay, that's bad, I guess, but if you had a massive protest of right-wingers saying how much they love Trump's tiny dick, you'd probably be like, this is great. Skipping ahead, he's all like, Trump can't actually do anything bad, or whatever. Don't worry, guys, it hasn't happened yet, so you shouldn't worry about it. Skepticism.
Just people who want to have their voices heard, people who believe in a certain kind of ideology, have a certain kind of mission, a certain kind of idea that isn't going to be embraced by the new administration, and they want to voice their displeasure. There are going to be people saying, well, yeah, but the libertarians didn't go running around and smashing, and to those people I'd say, yes, but you're mixing up the communists and the women's marchers. The communists were the ones running around smashing things, the anarcho-communists. The women's marchers weren't doing that, so let's not paint them both with the same brush.
Sargon does differentiate between the Women's March protesters and the Antifa people punching Richard Spencer in the head, etc. And it's actually more than I expected from him. Credit where credit's due. He didn't just say all these women marchers are just radicals, fuck all of them, extremely, the left is evil. He was like, okay, they are different. I am going to pick out like some random person and say, they're fat, ha ha ha. and this person's yelling, and they're autistic. But at the same time, he didn't just paint all of those people with Antifa's brush, which I appreciate. That's cool. And he acknowledged the fact that they were completely non-violent. But I've basically covered most of this video. A lot of it's just waffle. But then we move on to the final part of the video where it gets kind of disturbing. And it makes me think Sargon needs to take a break. Before I start that, I would like to play you a quick video.
I am so sorry that 20 is all I have, but I just want you to know that you deserve so much more. Like, so much more. And I voted for Clinton, not that that's important, and like, I wouldn't tell you who to vote for, but obviously you had to vote for Clinton, like, too. But like, I voted for her, and she wants people to have so much more. Like, she wants a fairer wage. Like, I think even more than Bernie did, maybe, but I don't know, because I don't know them personally. Like, I don't know you personally, but you seem so
It's been going on for 10 minutes already.
And like, I am just so proud to be able to order a latte from like you, because you are just such an incredible human. And like, I want everything for you, like everything you want right now, like I want it. Don't you think that she deserves free access to safe, affordable health care? Like, that's what I want for her.
Now, when I saw this video pop up on my feed, I was like, oh, okay. Some Hillary person went nuts. Oh, what's this like? I was supposed to laugh and I was supposed to mock this person because it was political, but I didn't. I just felt like this person is clearly unstable. They look like they need some assistance or help. They're kind of melting down in a public place. I feel very uncomfortable for everybody who is there, and it's not funny. I didn't find it funny. In fact, that video makes me kind of depressed, because I'm like, this is an individual who is going off the rails, being put on public media for everyone to laugh at and just say, look at that person. And it's just because of the politics. It's because they support Hillary, and they're left-wing, and they seem really over the top and social justice and whatever, so it's supposed to be funny. But I don't find it funny to see someone in like this emotional and mental state of distress. Watching that video just makes me feel depressed, to be honest. And it's got nothing to do with Hillary. I don't even like Hillary. I wanted Bernie. Fuck Hillary. Hillary's a failure. She's useless. I want her to like leave the political scene forever and just go away. And some people I know on the left disagree with me. They have much less disdain for Hillary than I do. But I have a lot of disdain for her. Because I think like a lot of this is her fault. And the Democratic establishment's fault. Not to get further into that. But when I see somebody just in a state of emotional distress, I don't feel like, this is fantastic. Look, someone in the public space is melting down. Just because it's political. Somebody help this person. Somebody do something. This is not... Don't put it on public media and say, let's all laugh at this person who's unhinged. But why do I bring that up? Well, I bring that up because honestly, and this is... I'm being completely honest, when I watched this part of Sargon's video, I felt kind of awkward inside, like, I feel bad for Sargon. He's having a bit of a breakdown. And it could just be being in the public eye too much, having too many people fighting with you about your political opinions, and you not liking that eventually, because people just going on and on at you about, like, Trump said this, Trump said that, Trump said something inaccurate, and that really digging on you. To the point where he starts blocking people. He's blocked me and he's blocked a bunch of other people, and that's fine, he can do that. But the way he reacted in this next part seemed out of proportion to what he was talking about, and much like watching that Hillary supporter have a meltdown in the middle of a coffee shop, I felt like this person is struggling with things. And it's got to be a lot harder because he's got so many subscribers, he's got like 500,000 whatever subscribers, and then to be having like this kind of reaction in the kind of public eye, it's awkward. So, and I'm sorry to be rubbernecking, I guess, but I mean, it doesn't give me joy to see Sargon in this way. I think if he should take a break and he should chill and come back to it later. So here it is.
The very final thing that just, oh my god, this fucking triggered me. I was just on a deep-seated level. I couldn't get over this. This really fucking pissed me off. So brace yourselves. This was a tweet from Bernie Sanders' account. And I know that Bernie Sanders doesn't do the tweeting himself, but it's his name. It's verified. He chooses the people to go and tweet in his name. He can take some fucking responsibility for what they say because he has signed off on it. President Trump, you made a big mistake By trying to divide us up by race, religion, gender, and nationality, you actually brought us closer with 300,000 retweets. Fuck you! Fuck you, Bernie! Fuck off! Trump did not try to divide you by race, religion, and gender and nationality.
Why is he punching the table? Like, why is he yelling? I guess if I understood his worldview better, I'd understand why he's so angry, but straight away, it's like, why are you punching the table and why are you yelling? Alright.
You are the cunts dividing people by race and gender! It's a fucking women's march, Bernie! Fuck! God, this is I'm totally triggered by this, I swear, right? Holy fucking shit, this is just an abject rewriting of history.
Well, for starters, Trump ran on...
They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people.
We're gonna have a Muslim ban. That was to do with religion.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States until our country's representatives can figure out what the hell is going on.
Gender issues.
Do you believe in punishment for abortion? Yes or no, as a principle?
The answer is that there has to be some form of punishment.
For the woman?
Yeah, there has to be some form.
10 cents, 10 years,
I don't
what?
know. That I don't know. That
Why
I don't
not?
know. I don't know.
He just did the abortion gag rule. Nationality.
China. 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 You take China.
China.
China. I love them. China. 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 I have to have my China. China. China because China.
China. China. China. China. China, China, China. Like on and on and on about China. America first. It's gonna be America first.
From this day forward, it's going to be only America first. America first.
Trump definitely did all those things. He did divide people up in that way. Now the question is, did the Democrats also divide people up in that way? I would say absolutely Hillary fucking did that. She was asked a question.
Secretary Clinton, how would you not be a third term of President Obama?
She said,
well, I think that's pretty obvious. I think being the first woman president would be quite a change.
At a presidential political level, that is a completely unsatisfactory answer, and it's not going. That didn't help her. But when did Bernie divide people by these things? He ran a very inclusive campaign. He was basically like, anyone, yeah, come to my side, you know? Disaffected Trump people come to my side. Anybody. And they ended up saying that he had too many white male supporters and the Bernie bros, etc. So Bernie was actually like smeared by the fact that he couldn't get enough people who weren't just white dudes or other white people to support him. Hillary had many African Americans supporting her, which doesn't make sense because her policies would not be that good for them compared to Bernie's. But basically, Hillary was the one who did all of that identity shit. Now, the thing that confuses me about your triggering is that Bernie is political opposition to Trump. He's not going to say that he's been against Trump this whole time. I don't know if you've noticed that. But he stands firmly against Trump. He's anti-Trump.
Now, the thought of Trump in the White House brings forth rather strange reactions in our stomach, leading to nausea and other symptoms. But here's the good news. Donald Trump is not going to become president of the United States. And the reason for that is the American people are much too smart to allow that to happen.
He's not pro-Trump. He's not going to say, wow, look at our stupid women's march with all the women. I wish it was inclusive and diverse like Trump. No, he doesn't like Trump. So you are literally being triggered by something that is expected. Because that's who Bernie is. He is a progressive. But he didn't play all of that identity politics. Hillary was the one who did that. So why are you flipping out on Bernie? I don't fucking understand this. And rewriting history? Did you pay any attention to all the shit that Trump said? That doesn't make sense. I don't know what you've... Okay. Watch a bit more.
Just complete rewriting of the entire narrative, and this is what will go down in history. This is what people will remember. Bernie Sanders suggested that Donald Trump was trying to divide everyone, but it didn't work. This will be the thing that gets into the fucking history books.
Well, he was trying to divide everybody, and it did work. It fully worked. It was very successful. His racial and religion and gender politics on his side. Megyn Kelly's bleeding out of God knows where, going to religious pastors and praying and being like, yeah, Jesus, we're all about that Jesus. Talking about those criminal blacks and those criminal Muslims and the damn fucking Muslim Islamists, and we're gonna have a Muslim ban in fucking Mexico. He played it brilliantly. But Hillary, she did it and she failed miserably. So like, what are you gloating about? Because Trump succeeded at identity politics. Hillary failed at identity politics. You should be happy. And Bernie didn't really play identity politics, but he still lost. And I think Bernie is going to say Trump is playing identity politics because he doesn't like Trump.
Fuck off. The left does nothing but identity politics. I mean, do you not even remember when you came out in opposition to identity politics? That is the process of dividing people up by race, religion, gender, and nationality.
The left does do identity politics too much. I totally agree. They should just try to appeal to people. But if they do a humanistic approach, and some of that involves appealing to black people, and some of that involves appealing to Jewish people, and appealing to women, and appealing to certain people because they're including everybody, and then other people get offended by that because we don't want policies for the blacks, we don't want policies for the Jews, we don't want policies for the women, then that's not the party for those people. They belong with Make America Great Again. And they belong with your people, Sargon, your Trump people. Because part of just appealing to humans is also recognizing that humans are diverse. Because that's just the nature of humanity. It's also the nature of America. Whereas Trump's campaign was very white-orientated. And when Hillary played her identity politics, it just failed miserably because people were like, look, you're not even likable. Your policies are very milquetoast. You're not really offering anything. She had to take over and get rid of Bernie, and she fucked it up. So that's the big issue here. You're just going off into the wilderness because you're so desperate to defend Trump. Must defend Trump. How does it feel to be a pure shill? You always accuse people of being partisan shills. The desperation you have to defend the President of the United States is fucked up. Be critical. Try to be... Gah. Now you're gonna trigger me.
Fuck you, Bernie! Fucking hell! What's this, Bernie? Sanders slams identity politics as Democrats figure out their future. What does that mean, Bernie? It's not good enough for someone to say, I'm a woman, vote for me. No, that's not good enough. What we need is a woman who has the guts to stand up to Wall Street, to the insurance companies. You mean to stand up for the issues, Bernie? Not just on the identity of being a woman. The thing you fucking slams, you know it comes from the left. You fucking know it. I mean, what's this?
When you're white, you don't know what it's like to be living in a ghetto. You don't know what it's like to be poor. You don't know what it's like to be hassled when you walk down the street or you get dragged out of a car. And I believe that as a nation in the year 2016, we must be firm in making it clear. We will end institutional racism.
Oh, we wouldn't want to divide people on race, Bernie. Oh, no, we wouldn't want that, would we, you fucking cuck? I hope sucking Hillary's sulphurous cock was worth the third house and the private jet that I don't even think you got for your fucking campaign, only to get fucking screwed by the establishment, Bernie. I hope it was fucking worth it. I hope you sleep well at night, you fucking sellout.
You seem stressed. You seem like you need to chill. Just get a fine wine, take a break. At the end of his videos, you can see him sitting there calmly, holding some proclamation, looking into the sunset. Channel that Sargon. Channel the Sargon who is just like, you know what? I'm totally chilled out. I'm just hanging here on this veranda thing, got some fucking fine wine, yeah, this is a good life. Rather than this Sargon who is so triggered by the fact that political opposition exists. Oh, psh, I can't take it! Bernie doesn't like Trump! It's like he's Bernie. Of course he doesn't fucking like Trump. He's Bernie fucking Sanders. And the weird thing is, you are inside Donald Trump's anus, and he is the president of the United States. When will you stop being so fucking sycophantic? Everybody knows, well, I mean, some people don't know Hillary's shit. They need to know Hillary is shit. Because she's the reason they fucking lost. Bernie didn't have the chance to try to win that goddamn thing. But now, you're bitching about the fact that Bernie doesn't agree with you. Because you live inside Trump's ass. But he played all of these identity politics games. He did it, and it was highly effective, and it worked. And it worked on people like you, because you are a sucker for identity politics. So long as it's just, the women, I don't like the women, I don't like the left, this person is fat! This person is autistic! So long as that is where it's at. I mean, Trump could do anything, he could shit in your mouth, and you'd be like, this is delicious. He could teabag you. He'd be like, blah, 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 delicious orange bowls. All I gotta say is, man, it's gonna be depressing 4 years of Sargon. But also, I feel a little mean because I feel like you legitimately were a little bit coming undone in your video. And I don't want to be mean, and I don't want to be a bully. So, I apologize for the tone that I've taken. And I just hope you take some time out, and I hope you chill. And I hope you realize that it's okay to have people that disagree with you. And it's okay when people point out flaws in your argument. You don't have to block them, and you don't have to sort of flip out. But, that's not really the way that things are going. So I wish you the best of luck, and yeah. Best of luck.
China. China, 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 China. China's over here. Look at what China's doing. They're learning from China. China, China, okay? Look at that. Isn't that nice? China, 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 China. China, 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 China.